Hello and welcome to Reviews. As always, I'm Plume Noir, and hey, look, another Captain Marvel #1. This is Captain Marvel. Was that Braver and Mightier? Yay, another #1. Now, if you turn the page here, if you look really closely, I don't know if it'll show up here, but it does say published as a one-shot. There it goes, focused. So we know this is just a one-shot. This is, I'm sure, just trying to tie into the movie. And, okay, I figured why not? Let's just take a look. And the covers, it's not bad. The art's pretty good. And the art is pretty good in this book. But what happens in this book? You have a one-shot, kind of give a summary of the character. And there's no real depth to it. And by that I don't mean the book, I mean the character. So it starts off with, Carol's in space, I'm sure you think you have a plan. Maybe you think it's even a good one. You probably think you even brought enough ships too. And if you think that's enough to get through me, you're wrong. And you probably don't speak English, huh? And there's a whole armada of these ships that are actually kind of cool looking. It could also be that you're on the edge of space and they can't hear you. That whole, sound doesn't travel in a vacuum thing. Yeah, that could be why they don't hear you. Who did this? Jody Hauser wrote it. The art's actually pretty good. I'll give it that. Yay, War of the Realms. And we start off with, a couple kids asking, what do you think we should ask her? Because it's Carol Danvers Day. Okay, so don't know yet. Still think we should get one question each. Part of me thinks we should ask something super mundane, like who her favorite Star Wars characters is. Blah blah blah. Yeah, you find out that it's Mia and Camden. Don't know who they are. At first, I thought this was supposed to be Squirrel Girl, to be honest. I was just thinking how fun it would be to annoy all the real reporters. I think they're already annoyed that we get first crack. Yeah, I can't help but think that might be a slam at somebody at panel. Anyway, they find out that while they're all waiting to do this publicity kind of tour thing for Carol Danvers Day that's being held at the Air Force Museum, they all find out that there's alien force at the edge of the atmosphere. Well, so much for the interview. And I'm going to skip like a huge chunk in the middle because basically it's Carol trading shots and, mostly talking about how, you can't assume everything is made out of energy you can absorb. Better than the people below, I guess, if those blasts can make it that far. And she's absorbing the blast. And did it knock her down into the atmosphere? Because as high up as she's supposed to be, she looks really close to the city. Yeah, I don't think she's supposed to be that high up. I don't know, maybe that's a dramatic thing. And, of course, she gets mad. She grabs the ships, and I had plans today. And, of course, we go back to the kids who are upset, thinking she'd actually show. Yeah, she's a big-time superhero, but she's also Air Force, like our parents. That still counts for something. And yeah, there's almost a parade for Carol Danvers Day. So yeah, it keeps going back and forth between the kids. And she's literally punching aliens trying to bust into the Earth's atmosphere right now. That's what people want to read about, right? And time to disable rather than destroy. If I can, convince them to run. Still don't know. She gets shot and... Yeah, I should skip ahead to the end here. My turn. And yeah, it's basically kind of a examination of her powers. Now she's shooting a major energy beam back, and I have to admit, this panel's a little wonky. Is actually kind of cool. Now who's next? And then they come up with a big red cannon type thing, and great. That looks sciency. I don't do sciency. Oh, so she calls in for help, but I'm going to skip a huge chunk in the middle. And let's just say she does make it back, and she gets to interview the kids get to interview her, and they ask her, they finally come up with the perfect question. If you can go back in time, what advice would you give to your younger self? Really? That's like high school question number one. Huh. Well, aside from never wanting to deal with time travel again, I tell her she's right. Right about what? All of it. Everything she dreams of doing, everything she was told she couldn't do. They're wrong, she's right. Is there anything you'd warn her about? That's a second question. But no, I don't think I would. Aside from messing with the time stream, I'd be messing with everything that makes me me. We're all the sum of all our triumphs and tragedies, right? I've lost a lot over the years. People who meant the world to me, pieces of myself. But I've done a heck of a lot of good. And all those lives are not worth risking, or some not worth risking. And yeah, you see, they're actually acknowledging her time as binary. Even this outfit that she's not allowed to wear anymore because it ticks people off. I tell her that her wish comes true. She really does get to fly. And she'll fly higher and faster and further than she ever dreamed. And then we get this splash panel of her flying away, and the end. Yeah, it's a fluffy piece. If it's supposed to be a tie-in, I mean, like I said, I saw it on the shelf at the comics, and I was just at the comic shop, and I'm like, oh, yay, another Captain Marvel #1. Now, this should be the kind of thing that should be included with your ticket purchase, or at least sold at the movie theater to kind of give an idea of who she is. Oops, I just hit the phone there. And of course, at the end, it does say, don't miss Captain Marvel's new ongoing series. Issues number 1 and 2 on sale now. So, yeah, it's to try and garner sales for her regular series. But it's funny because she says about not messing with time travel. And while it wasn't really so much time travel, but the House of M is what showed Carol what she could be if, she had her crap together. And, where she was a real famous, competent superhero in the House of M universe. That was the kind of motivation, but they still do things. They say stuff like, now she's an Avenger and Earth's mightiest hero. At what point did she become Earth's mightiest hero? How did that happen? Other than the fact that Marvel said, that, yeah, she's the greatest. What exactly did she do to earn this title? I still don't know what has happened. She's pretty much walked away from Civil War II scot-free, and I keep bringing that up with her because that was a really bad showing for her. And, you see in this, it's a lot of attitude. I skip a lot here. But she doesn't seem very human. You know what I'm saying? This is the closest we do get to any type of humility from her. Where she says that I've lost a lot over the years. People who meant the world to me, pieces of myself. She did lose, her emotional attachment to her memories after, everything that happened with Rogue. And of course, she became binary and, came back. She was Warbird and Miss Marvel, but it's not really. She comes off just really cocky and annoying in this. Not really like. It seems like it's gone to her head. She has Carol Danvers Day, and it seems like she's become one of those annoying celebrities, very full of themselves, and that's a problem. She doesn't seem human. This issue, if it's supposed to show off her character, it doesn't really. Yeah, she's Air Force. She's overcome a lot. Blah blah blah. There's $4. This book's garbage. And even trying to think of it as a one shot, it's. You saw how quickly I went through this. I skipped a whole lot because not a lot happens. The whole big thing was them working backwards. They wanted to have the kids ask a question. And, the perfect question, which is what any high school kid would ask a celebrity. It's the exact same question. You're telling me these kids went in for their school, did not get any type of, teacher said, hey, why don't you ask one of these questions? Or here's some ideas. They're still deciding on what they're going to ask her while they're waiting. So yeah, we see some of her powers. We find out she's arrogant and full of herself, and oh yeah, this doesn't bode well for the movie. But I will find out in a week. I will let you guys know. I have my tickets already this weekend. I'm curious to see how many people are actually going to be at the theater. So yeah, avoid this. 6 o'clock. You know who Captain Marvel is. If you're the type of person who watches my videos, you already know who she is. Avoid this book. You don't need it. This is the type of book that should be given out with the movie and with the movie ticket, and it's not going to be so, or at least sold with the sold in the theater when you're buying popcorn in that. It shouldn't be on the stands. People are going to come in. If people even came in after the movie and said, "Oh, I love Captain Marvel. Let's get one of their books," they get this and they say, "This is it? Didn't I just watch this?" Anyway, waste of time. Thanks for watching. I will be back. I still have Fantastic Four. Still have Superior Spider-Man. I got that stupid Wolverine Infinity thing going. I think that's from last week. Just haven't had a chance to get to it. So, anyways, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.